Today I fucked up by burying the wrong cat.
Does anyone else ever question their adulting abilities? My daughter's cat got hit by a car yesterday.
I saw him when I was pulling out of the neighborhood. So I went and got him and we buried him. Kids made rock headstones, etc. My kids were devastated. I was definitely upset too. This isn't something you prepare for when you have young animals and children.
Well, the damn cat came home at 1 a.m. He woke up my daughter, who I've told 25 times that, yes, he's really dead.
I had a burial for someone else's cat.
What the hell am I doing? Is this week over yet?
I need a drink. On top of that, I buried the damn cat with our cat's favorite blanket. Now I've got to decide if grave robbing is in my future. Too long did not read. Saw a dead cat, thought it was ours, buried it. Our cat came home in the middle of the night. And the cat came back the very next day. So that took an unexpected turn. I thought you had 2 cats, one died and you somehow buried the not dead one.
Op. Have you not seen, read, Pet Cemetery? Get that demon cat out of your house. Don't worry, we did the same thing. Saw our cat Jam had been hit, so we took him home and buried him. That is until Jam wanders over wondering what we are doing filling in a hole we just dug.
It was kind of funny to have a cat looking in the hole he is buried in. Great. Now the kids will think death isn't permanent, unless it's their parents, like in a Disney movie. Quickly, kill your spouse or your kids will be permanently messed up. In all seriousness, glad your cat's okay. Sorry about the other kitty. We love our cats and I'd be devastated if something happened to one of them. Keep your damn cats inside.
They are a menace to wildlife and your neighbors. Today I fucked up by spending thousands on worm food. Just found out about this today, but apparently it's been going on for years.
I like coffee. Good coffee which isn't cheap, usually around $50 per pound for the really good single origin stuff. I have a nice little setup at home with a grinder and I order bags of freshly roasted beans regularly. Too regularly.
This is how I noticed the F-up.
I knew that I had 3 unopened bags of the world's finest beans at home when I left for work, but when I come home there is only 2. I ask my wife if she knows where the 3rd bag is, thinking maybe it was just moved. She told me that she ground it up and put it on our compost pile because, and I shit you not, the worms really like it. It makes them work for longer. Apparently this has been going on for years.
Every week or so when the fancy took her, she would take a bag of my single origin, organic, fair trade certified coffee beans, grind them up and put the dry grinds straight onto the compost.
Too long did not read. Too bad I'm not summarizing.
Did you tell her she can still give the coffee grounds to her worms after it's brewed coffee first?
You're supposed to use them after they've been used.
Just save your grounds.
If you need more, my mom gets bags from Starbucks somehow. Could just ask a coffee place. Grounds for a divorce.
Yeah, compost the used grounds but spread it out with dry grass clipping and weeds, pop and any old veg roughly chopped up. Gotta be layered like a lasagna.
Too much of one thing is bad for worms.
A whole bag at once is a bit much. Get a pot and shove the old stuff in it for your wife.
I've had my fair share of weird experiences with my significant other, but this takes the cake. I mean, who knew worms could be so picky about their snacks? I guess it's good that your wife is into sustainable living and all, but man, that's a lot of coffee beans going to waste. The worms next week, jittering and slapping their arm veins. Where's the caffeine? Where's the caffeine? Today I fucked up by proposing on a bridge going over a river. As the title suggests, I messed up. I have been with my girlfriend for coming up on 6 years in October. For our first date, we went to dinner and then walked around town and ended up along the river walk. There is a swinging bridge that crosses over the river and it provides beautiful views. Well, when we got there, I was recording the river and surrounding area and my girlfriend goes, "Please don't drop your phone." In the background. Now here comes the foo. I decide that a good way to propose is to recreate our first date. We head to the river and are walking around. I'm pointing out memories from that night, like the deer we saw in a certain spot, etc. We get to the bridge and just take in the view for a little bit. I'm waiting for people to cross the bridge so it can just be us in the moment. I ask her, "Do you remember our first date when we came here and I started recording and you said please don't drop your phone?" She said yes, and that's when I grabbed the ring from my pocket, got on one knee and said, "Well, please don't drop this."
As soon as I opened the ring box, the ring came sliding out, bounced once on the bridge, and proceeded to fall through the cracks on the bridge.
Keep in mind this river is flowing fast and it's not plausible to try to go in and retrieve it. I looked for 4 hours hoping we could find it, just maybe see a glisten in the water or anything. Hopefully it didn't go all the way through. She saw it hit the water, but I still looked and looked. Unfortunately, it is a loss at this point. This is the most expensive mistake I have ever made in my life, and I'm hoping I can get it replaced. We'll just take time. She said yes. We went to Walmart and got a $15 ring as a placeholder for now. Too long did not read. Proposed to my girlfriend on a bridge going over a river. Ring fell out of the ring box as soon as I opened it and is now gone. At least your girlfriend said yes, even if the ring didn't make it. You can always try to get it replaced or find a new one that's special to you both. And hey, the $15 ring from Walmart will do for now, right? I work with a guy who's a metal detectorist as a hobby, but he frequently accepts gigs to find people's lost jewelry and such. A lot of the times things are lost in the water, and this dude has full diving gear and is committed to the task. He's recovered lots of wedding rings and other sentimental jewelry. See if you can find someone who does this in your area. At least she said yes, right? I'm sure it'll take some time to get a new one, but it's worth it. Hey man, congrats on the proposal despite the ring mishap. That swinging bridge sounds like a sweet spot for a proposal, even if the ring had other plans. At least she said yes, right? Party popper, here's hoping the replacement process goes smoothly for you both. My partner and I swapped engagement rings. Mine was a plain white gold ring with a single small embedded diamond, which proceeded to fall out before the wedding. I haven't worn the ring since, though I still have it somewhere. Fortunately, it wasn't a bad sign, and we're still married 38 years later. Oh god, that timing is straight out of a comedy. I'm so sorry, but I hope you had a great laugh with her after grieving the lost ring. Today I fucked up by spraying my neighbor's clean laundry with my breast milk. Well, I'll just dive right in. I gave birth to my beautiful daughter 6 weeks ago. She is amazing and I am absolutely loving motherhood. However, as with any big life change, there is a steep learning curve and unexpected challenges. One of these challenges has been dealing with an oversupply of milk. My body seems to think we are feeding quadruplets, and as there is only one bub, it doesn't take long for me to get engorged and start leaking. Now that my baby is 6 weeks old, she is starting to sleep in longer stretches, which is fantastic, mostly. Well, she slept 5 hours straight for the first time yesterday. Being a sleep-deprived mother, obviously I took full advantage and slept too. When we woke up, my baby was ravenous. I pulled down my bra to feed her, only to spray her little face with a stream milk at a remarkably high velocity. When I say high velocity, I mean quality shower head with a massage setting kind of high velocity. Now, I've been dealing with this oversupply for 6 weeks. I'm used to spraying, but not this intensely. I was like a pressure washer. Both my baby and I were flabbergasted, and she quickly started crying from a combination of hunger and being sprayed square in the face. There is no way my poor child could latch on with this flow. No worries, I'll just quickly pump to relieve some pressure. Alas, I realized that I hadn't finished cleaning my pump from the last use and it was still in pieces. I ran around aimlessly with a baby blanket clutched to my chest, somehow still getting milk all over the floor. My baby was fussing and I was still half asleep and pretty overwhelmed, so, not knowing what else to do, I stumbled out onto my bedroom balcony. I dropped the soaking blanket and just stood there spraying milk. To help you paint a mental picture, I live on a farm in an old converted farmhouse. What used to be a large manor house is now 6 lovely apartments, 3 on the ground floor and 3 upstairs. We live upstairs and my bedroom balcony overlooks fields of sheep and horses, so I was not too worried about being seen by any unsuspecting people. I just stood there for a minute, spraying like a fountain and staring at the horses, then I looked down. Lo and behold, my neighbor had her laundry out on the line directly below the balcony and I had visibly got milk on a large portion of it. I quickly scampered back inside and released the rest of the pressure over the bathroom sink. IDFK why I didn't do that in the first place. Then contemplated how exactly I was going to explain the mishap to my neighbor. Too long did not read. I accidentally sprayed my breast milk all over the neighbor's laundry from my second-story balcony. Has someone taught you how to express milk without a pump? If not, look it up. That should be helpful. Also, I'm seconding the comment about considering milk donation. There are so many babies who could use breast milk donations. It can turn your annoying issue into a blessing for other families. Stood on the balcony with your knockers out just spraying. Rolling on the floor laughing, 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 rolling on the floor laughing. I'm deceased. DDD. It sounds like you have an ample supply. Have you considered donating to one of the milk banks? You should be able to find one in your area for a simple Google search.
If you can't, then just ask the hospital and they can point you in the right direction.
Be like.
GIF. Giphy. L0 my IWEFJQYDB0VY. Downsized.
This is a great story. Thanks for sharing.
Don't worry, it will get better when she sleeps longer. Your boobs get used to it, normally. Have you considered donating to the local NICU? They desperately need milk for preemies. My daughter was one. And you can literally both save and improve many lives.
Also, bawahahahahaha. At least they weren't out there, wondering why it was raining.